Hello my friends, my name is Dr. Abdullah and I am researcher in Quran and Bible. Today I will be discussing extramarital relationship of Muslims living in the West. Living together before marriage is generally accepted as a normal practice in the West like USA and Europe. Premarital sex in the USA and European society has become a norm, and even though adultery is illegal in 23 states in USA. Since 1983, no one has been punished, while some 60% men and 42% women reportedly committed acts of adultery in the country. In those states where adultery is still on the statute books, penalties vary from life sentence in Michigan to $10 fine in Maryland to a Class B misdemeanor in New York to a Class A felony in Wisconsin and to a fine of $500 in South Carolina. Islam defines premarital and extramarital relationship as great sins and proposes strong penalties. The Quran says, "Not come closer to illicit sexual intimacy, zina, for it is shameful act and an evil, opening the doors to the other evils." Chapter number 17, verse 32. Yet many in the Muslim community living in Europe and USA and elsewhere cannot claim to be the strict followers of their faith. A good number of single men and women, as well as married couples, mostly men, seem to be involved in premarital or extramarital relations. There is no sociological study to substantiate the statistics, yet there are reports based on independent research of many journalists and social scientists that suggest incidents of premarital sex among Muslim men far exceed the incidence of similar behavior among Muslim women. By and large, Muslims avoid discussion on the subject, often living under the assumption that their community is free from these acts. Few would dare any write-up, and those who do would generally be looking down upon. Yet it is an issue that one has to face, especially when it impacts the image of Islam and the health of the community. There are many women, mostly non-Muslims, who feel betrayed by their Muslim boyfriends after living together for several years. And there are many Muslim women who, out of fear and social pressure, are not willing to admit the intimate nature of their relation with their boyfriends in the society. It's an issue that deserves to be addressed openly, fearlessly, and seriously. With sex and discussion about sex everywhere, the Muslim community cannot claim to save itself from the impact. Sex is a physical activity, but it's born in the mind and ideas. But it is not a physical necessity prior to developing authentic relations, assuming the responsibilities and consequences without which a human cannot survive, like food or water. So it's possible that if the mind is properly trained and the ideas are channelized into positive energy, people can control their sexual urges within a moral frame. But this would happen only when the discussion is open and objective. It's the one thing to say that God frowns upon those who indulge in illicit sexual relations, but it's another to study the causes of this lifestyle and pragmatically take steps to channelize the sexual urge without an ethical framework for the good of all. Not many are willing to admit that the premarital sex is common among single Muslims male students in various colleges and universities, especially among those enrolled as a foreign students. There are incidents of extramarital relations among students who live without their spouses. Among the male students, this happens in different ways. The boys either enters into a temporary marriage relationship with a non-Muslim girl for a specific period of time or maintains a relationship in secrecy. In some cases, the boy even marries the girl in what he defines Islamically, without any legal contract or paperwork. In this situation, the couple approaches either an imam or anyone they trust to conduct marriage Islamically. The marriage is not recorded under the assumptions that God is greatest witness along with the two other male witnesses. Such marriages are also solicited by married men. Women are generally non-Muslims and they are told that at later time, when it is appropriate, the husband would divorce his first wife. Temporary hookups through chat sites and dating agencies are also common among Muslim singles and married men. Usually the Muslim men and women come to these chat sites without non-Muslim names, regardless of the region they live in, and slowly and gradually they reveal true identity once the possibility physical hookup becomes a reality. Usually Muslims would avoid entering into these kinds of hookups with fellow Muslims of opposite or same gender. Yet these unions are not rare. So single Muslim men often start facing the trouble when their parents want to declare their relations open. Most of the time, such single Muslim men who are not serious do not introduce their girlfriends to their Muslim circle. So this is a dilemma in West about Muslim people, male and female, male to female, Muslim male to Muslim female relationships, or Muslim males to non-Muslim females relationship. This is very important and crucial. I don't have the words to explain how to manage. But once I was asked by where I was director of Islamic centers, so the owner and president of that Islamic center asked me the same questions. It's many years back, 20 years back. But I still remember that they were worried. The Muslim community leaders were worried that these young boys and girls of Muslims' faith, they are coming into the illicit relationships, ultimately leading to zina, adultery or fornication. So what is the solution? The parents, they don't want to tell their parents these relationships. They don't want to disclose this relationship, but they want it because it's the demand of the human nature, human body. It's a human reproductive system demand that they should have sex, but they don't have outlet and they don't want to go into serious relationship of wedding or marriage or blah blah. So my suggestion was that they should do nikah. They need not to inform their parents. Later on, when they graduate from the universities or whenever the time comes, they should disclose to the parents. And if the parents are very strict, that they are not going to accept this relationship, then they can divorce, no problem. The God has given, Allah has given this way that if the marriage cannot continue, you can divorce. So it's really a dilemma, and the Muslim community is still puzzled that how to manage this, how to come out of this. And when a youth, they see their non-Muslim friends and colleagues doing the same things, sex without any relationship. And